crossing the Eurasian continent about 9,300 kilometers. The longest railroad in the world, the Siberian Railway. From the largest city in the Far East, from Vladivostok to Moscow, through the spectacular landscape and taiga forest outside. Now, Russia becomes the country more familiar to us and teaches you how attractive traveling by train might be. Journey on the Siberian Railroad. In this series, I will guide you from Vladivostok to Irkutsk. Trans-Siberian Railway, the world's longest train route. The first page of the traveling story will begin from Vladivostok. Vladivostok used to be the navy base in the Imperial Russia, later flourished in shipbuilding and marine products. Crossing the sea, Japan, China, and Korea are very close from this city. There's a stateless atmosphere that's distinct from other Russian towns. Vladivostok, the largest city in the Far East, developed at the Golden Horn Bay facing the Sea of Japan. About 1 hour by planes to Vladivostok from the north of Japan. You can find local flea markets everywhere in Vladivostok. The city has developed along the coast. This is the best spot to explore the true faces of Russians with relaxing mood but full of passion. You can find reasonable and high-quality groceries such as beers, wines, fruits, and everyday items. In the era of Imperial Russia, it was difficult to get them. If you make a transit, depending on the schedule, you might be spending one additional night. It's a great opportunity to take a look at the unique spots of the city. This gate, which Nicholas II built, was restored in 2003 by the donations from the citizens. The Submarine C-56 Museum. The submarine used in the World War II has become the museum itself. You can walk in and take a look at the inside. In the square, there's a memorial monument for the people killed in the war, with their names engraved. The Revolutionary Soldier Square is the symbol for the people fought to establish the Soviets, but also known as the place to rest for people now. Keep on the Svetlanskaya Street. Vladivostok's largest main street will finally approach the scenic Falconer Street. The best downtown in the city, colored with the light and the wind of Amur Bay, always full of light, being the energy for Russians in the Far East. After breathing the air of Vladivostok, finally we head to the starting point for the long travel. Like domestic buildings in Russia, there is the harmony with the exteriors preserved carefully in the long history, and the interiors renovated beautifully with the times. The scale of the starting point of the biggest city in the Far East and the longest railroad in the world. The train heading to Moscow from Vladivostok departs at the same time of the day. "5 p.m. The platform becomes crowded with people before departure. The Russia contains 17 to 20 sleeper cabins, mainly connecting Vladivostok and Moscow. On the way to the stopping station, the vehicle replacement for additional cabins is carried out as necessary. It's just the ordinary scene of the huge station. But today is a special day for every person who's gathering from different area, keeping each thoughts inside the heart. Those who say farewells, those who talk about their hopes for the journey to come, those who are just waiting still for departure. Russians, foreigners, the crews, everyone will be a traveler of the train in a few minutes. The train Russia departed from Vladivostok will arrive at Moscow after 7 nights, 8 days, with total of 9,258 kilometers. In this series, we'll introduce the route to Irkutsk, 4 nights, 4 days, famous with Lake Baikal, and the touristic features of Irkutsk. In the Russia, there are 8 cabins for both the first class and the second class, total of 16 with the same style. In the second class, 2 bunk beds placed face-to-face for 4 people. In the first class, 2 regular beds face-to-face for 2. Inside the second-class sleeper cabin, the lower beds are often used as sofas in the daytime. The price is about $500 from Vladivostok to Irkutsk and about $800 between Vladivostok to Moscow. You need to check the price because the price may change due to the rate and the railroad conditions. Usually, you don't fold up the upper beds. The price for the first-class sleeper cabin is about $800 between Vladivostok and Irkutsk. Between Vladivostok and Moscow, about $1,200. Little bit expensive, but with televisions, flowers by the window, the luxurious carpets and the walls, they can make you very comfortable. Either in the first or the second class, they both use the beds as sofas in the daytime. Room for two is more comfortable because the beds are not bunk beds. You may want to try the room if you are a bit richer. The standards of the rooms may change according to the condition of the compartments. The updated first-class sleeper cabins have rooms for children. It's nice to sleep and eat in the compartments, but it might be boring for little kids to travel for such a long time. The kids' rooms have games and toys, very friendly for the families. The laundry room solves the problem of washing and ironing clothes in the long travel. You could not imagine these services in the times of the Soviet era. The shower next to the laundry room is popular among visitors, especially from the West Europe. The railroad company had good efforts and improved cleanliness and convenience. There is a little shop where you can buy things like water and snacks. The space is usually used as the conductor's room. You can get water and cookies for a reasonable price. The cabin number 9 is a restaurant between first-class and second-class cabins. The restaurant or the delivery, all up to you. The first stop, Ugolynaya. There are more than 70 stations to stop until you arrive Moscow. The length of time to stop at each station is different. In the compartment, radio can be heard for 24 hours a day. Sooner or later, each passenger will settle down and find a nice way to spend the time.
постоянное место жительства. Да, я путешествую каждый год практически в течение всей своей жизни.
Я еду, собственно говоря, и отдых, и работа. Ну, собственно говоря,
Похоже.
похоже очень даже. Обмен опытом. Все маркетинг.
I travelled across Russia. I started in Moscow, travelled up to St. Petersburg, then all the way across to Vladivostok, and now I'm going back. It's my first time in Russia, in fact. I spent the past 7 weeks travelling. Yeah.
In September, the sun sets at 8 p.m. Now time for dinner. The dining car is open from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. with 1 hour rest each in the daytime and the evening. The menu covers the Russian local food. You can order them anytime during the open hours. The price is quite reasonable for the foreigners, and the meals taste delicious enough. Borscht and the beef stroganoff are especially people's favorites. The first night on the Russia. The passengers seems to be tired. Most of the lights went off quite early tonight. Early in the second morning, train arrived at Khabarovsk, a city of Amur River. Population is about 600,000. In summer, many visitors will come to see the beautiful flowers. The train stops about 20 minutes, a short break for passengers and the crews. As the Russian morning arrives slowly, passengers start to hear the cleaner's sound. By keeping the car clean, we communicate with passengers, the conductor, Mr. Ahad, says.
Я 7 лет работаю. Общий стаж у меня на железной дороге. Работа очень интересная. Мы общаемся с разными людьми, с разных странах мира. Поэтому я это работаю. На этой профессии работаю. Японцы едут, основные не до Москвы, до Иркутска едут японцы.
The markets within the platform. The workers at the station are from the neighbor. Some passengers say they don't need to go to the dining cars because the selection of local food are the best parts of Siberian Railway. The travelers are always surprised of the low price.
Очень вкусные котлеты. А окорочок не надо? Не-не-не. Так, 40.餃子。クレープの中にカテージチーズが入ってます。これはお芋、じゃがいもをマッシュしたもの。で、これは水餃子。これは普通の水餃子。で、これはサラダ。これはサラダで。これが一番美味しい。これおやつです。
おやつ
私たちはフランスに住んでるので、このままマルセイユまでシベリア鉄道ので冒険を しつつ、ウラジオストックのデウスザーラの家を見て、そしてワルシャワでショパンのピアノコンサートを聴くという企画の映画を短編を撮ってるので、それも兼ねて旅行してます。白樺に感動を。白樺がね、綺麗で、ちょうど紅葉だし、黄金の大地が見えて。
The construction of the railway started in 1870 for development of Siberia and advancing for the Far East. From 1891, under the Emperor Alexander III, the construction went on rapidly as a national project. But in the winter, with a temperature of minus 50 centigrade, in summer attacked by wild tigers and bears, the construction was really severe. Under such conditions, in 1904, the entire Siberian railroads finally completed. It was the year the Russo-Japanese War broke out. Since the 1950s, railway in Moscow started to switch gradually from the steam locomotive to the electrification, now fully electrified. At Belogorsk station, we were able to see the familiar and essential work at Siberian Railway. Although the Russian departed with 17 cars including dining car, it can be added to 20 cars. Considering the passengers getting on and off and the operation schedules, the cars are linked one by one at the stops. To go across the land covered with snow and ice, the railroad is the most essential transportation throughout the year. In modern times with automobiles, airlines and pipelines, railways lead the greatest role in Russian transportation. We found a group of casual young people on the way. There is an inseparable relationship between railways and the farewells.
Все, давай.
Рому, что позовите? Рома, Боря, делай. Давайте Пеге нам, короче, привет, Пега, вообще нам. Да, пусть свой мозг еще. Скажу, он мне обещал покатать, и не покатал. Пацаны, давайте.
Давай, отлично, все.
Миха, давай. Миха, да. Все, давай.
Around 100 meters south of Amazar, the Silka River joins the Amur River. The Amur has its origin in Mongolia, heading for the Sea of Okhotsk. Fishery is the major industry in Amazar waters. When 2/3 of the travel to Irkutsk is over, the conductor's work will seem more familiar, and the landscape would give the travelers the images, just like the paintings they might have seen somewhere before. Mogocha is a town with the world's lowest temperature of -60 centigrade. Also known as the Christians called Skoptsi were exiled in the 19th century. Nearby, there is a national border to China. Chernoysk-Zabaykalsky is a huge and beautiful station. During a long stop here, many passengers enjoy their break time at the cafe in the station. Finally, the last night of the way to Irkutsk. Better not forget the workers behind the scenes. Railroad officials will refuel at arriving stations and do inspection work during daytime or night. Although the density varies depending on the stopping time, the tasks become more careful at shorter stops, the railroad officials said. The red light of the checking sensor illuminates the safety for passengers. When the night passed, the bluish sky sometimes turned red and finally greets the morning. The journey on the train reminds us again of how precise the phases of the moon and the routines of the days are. Ulan-Ude, the capital of Buryatia Republic with a population of 350,000, became a military outpost in 1668. After a cathedral was built in 1745, the city flourished as an important trade center of the tea dealers coming from China. The railway opened to traffic in 1900. Some of the citizens look very much like us Japanese people. After a while passing Ulan-Ude, we can observe Lake Baikal between Muisobaya and Suluzhanka, very close from the window, for about an hour and a half. We saw the opposite side of Lake Baikal from Irkutsk station. Now, not being able to see any of the opposite shore, you get to know the magnificent scale of Lake Baikal. The crowds of dried fish attack you right after getting off at Suluzhanka station. Omul, the sweetwater salmon only to be found in Lake Baikal. Various recipes such as making it dried fish, smoking, or baking. If you are familiar with the Siberian Railroad, you will know that you're close to Irkutsk when you see the omul. The price of one fish is under $1. It tastes similar to salmon. The Russia will soon arrive at Irkutsk, the largest intermediate point. Some may keep going on to Moscow for the following 3 days, and some may head to Mongolia or China by changing the lines. Some may get off the train and have fun. The magnificent and unknown quantity of encounters and communications might happen. The very important key to enjoy the Siberian Railroad is Irkutsk.
Вы решили попутешествовать?
Irkutsk is the central city of eastern Siberia's culture and industry. The huge and beautiful Angara River flows in the city down into Lake Baikal. The townscapes are so charming. Some people call the city as Paris of Siberia. With the magnificent scenery of the Russian Orthodox temples, the visitors can sit back and leave all their stress back somewhere. First to the Lake Baikal. About an hour to go south along the Angara River. In autumn, the national highway keeps straight on, surrounded by the red leaves. Water from Lake Baikal is flowing into the Angara River. There is a stone as a landmark at the boundary, and it's one of the tourist attractions. Listovyanka is a small village near Lake Baikal, surrounded by mountains of conifer forests, taiga on 3 sides. Located here is the Japanese cemeteries of those who died of the Siberian detention during the World War II. It may be a good idea to give a little prayer as a traveler beyond the boundary. The total area is 31,500 square kilometers, the width of 79 kilometers, 1,620 meters deep. An outstanding scale in every number. Being called as the Pearl of Siberia, about 350 rivers flow into Lake Baikal, the largest and deepest freshwater lake in the world. A greatest symbol of vast Siberia, and is also a symbol of Russia. I can say it's just like Mount Fuji for Japanese people. The market near the lakeside, there are countless of small shops, bustling with localists and the tourists together. Accessories and others made of natural stones are also lined up in the shops. But the smokes of omul are the most visible things in the market. Besides the smoked fish, you can get most of the foodies here. In Lake Baikal, you can enjoy canoeing and sailing in the summer, the fresh melting snow of the spring, autumn leaves, and the dynamic scenes of the frozen landscape in the winter. With the snow cars or the sleds, it's a touristic resort to explore the great nature throughout the year. We'd spent the night at the hotel just by the lake, a place to charge energy for the second half of the railway trip, starting tomorrow. A few minutes drive on the highway, the hotel Baikal Terema stands at the lower side of the beautiful mountain. Terema means the Russian wooden building. When hearing the word Terema, Russians seem to imagine about the cozy and luxurious buildings of their sweet hometown. At the front desks and the lobby as well, the furnitures let us feel the warmth of the woods. The hotel, together with Listovyanka village, is proposing a new type of hotels and an ecosystem sincere to the global environment. Additional to that, Baikal Terema is known as the first hotel of Russia that ever promoted in overseas. The stairs lead you to a total of 17 twin rooms located on 3 floors. The hotel is very conceptual about arranging the colors for each floor. Please look at the carpets and the bed making also. You can see that Baikal Terema is very promotive and creative. The Russian-styled hot spring, using water of Baikal Lake. This is called the Russian bath. Hot springs are used more like the steam sauna to get warmer in cold winter. Especially in Irkutsk from October to March in the severe cold, the hot springs are the important and essential facilities. Let me recommend you the special restaurants to enjoy Irkutsk. Restaurant Proshly Vek. Meaning the previous century, you can enjoy meals with the fish caught in the fresh water of Lake Baikal. The interior is covered with the wooden style matching the Lake Baikal under the concept of nature. The visitors from all over the world, the restaurant's unique creativity, the meals of cooked freshwater fish, and the great views of Lake Baikal. From sashimi to pottery, fried foods, staying in Irkutsk is a rare opportunity. In the meantime, you may try all or mule cuisine. For example, the price is about $45 for 2, quite reasonable. With the views of Angara River, it's the first time for you in this journey to enjoy the still and quiet landscape of the Russian sunset. You might think of the coming night in the trains. It is nice to go sightseeing in the city of Irkutsk, Paris of Siberia, before leaving for Moscow. Kirov Square is a beautiful park with the trees and flower beds surrounding the cylindrical fountain. By walking along the river starting from here, the access to the churches, temples, and the sightseeing spots will be very smooth. The city of Irkutsk has a sister city relationship with Kanazawa in Japan. Also in August of 1994, the monument of Russian-Japanese relationships was built as a proof of amity between Irkutsk and Suzuka City in honor of Mr. Kondayu Daikokuya, the Japanese boatman and his fellows. The amity of two countries got more deeply involved in this city. The Spasskaya Church, founded in 1710, is a church located on the north side of Kirov Square. With the beautiful contrast of the white wall and the green-colored dome. Inside is a branch of the museum for local magazines, the clothes of lake hunters and the ethnic minorities, and other daily used things are displayed here. At the top of the church, mural paintings of ethnic minorities in Irkutsk, appearance of baptism, and the priests are perfectly preserved. Znamensky Monastery is located further along the Angara River. Citizens visit the cemeteries every day and pray for the young nobles of St. Petersburg, called the Decembrists, who rebelled against the Imperial Russia. Irkutsk has a complex history as the penal colony of the Decembrists. But here, the house of Volgonsky has a different image from the word of exile. Expensive and beautifully decorated interior, furniture, furnishings, dishes, and artistic items are carefully preserved here. Compared to the Trubetskoy's house, known as another Decembrist, House of Volgonsky is not so famous yet. But when you visit Irkutsk, I recommend that you step by. Irkutsk Station, back to the Trans-Siberian Railway. Irkutsk is around 4,000 kilometers from the start. The total is about 9,300 kilometers. The journey has not reached half yet. Another new departure for an unknown quantity of the traveling. The road to Moscow will continue to the second series.